They going on trips to conferences to learn how to be better for a man. Some of them enrolling in therapy. They trying to find all of these solutions to be better. And as soon as they find a man they feel is meeting part of that, they ready to throw their whole all into it.
Wait, what?
I mean, what? Who are you guys speaking about?
Like, where's this happening? Where's this happening? Where's this happening, yo?
I mean, I get that it's happening, but you guys make it seem like it's so like.
Bro, we're gonna pretend you ain't saying
it.
What's the dating coach that
the ladies couldn't even ride with you on that one, bro?
I agree. Listen, I agree, because if you look at these dating these guys, listen, Stefan Speaks, look at how many views he gets per, you know. You look at all these people who are dating coach, these guys telling women, this is what you do. Those numbers of those people, those dedicated subscribers, looking at those videos, trying to learn, going to these, and these dudes pay, like, they charge like hundreds of dollars for these seminars, right? And it could be a webinar.
Have you been, like, so just judging off the space that we exist in, right? If you watch the general way, the majority of, the general way a large percentage of men operate and communicate with women, I could tell you the reason they're not married just by watching that.
You want to know what's funny? Because if we just talk about online, this is why I love reading the comments and seeing what people like. Because if you look at those relationship videos and the goofiness of them and how silly these, you see the people tagging their boyfriends and stuff, and the boyfriend like, yeah, that's us. And it normally be just regular people shit. All the stuff that you talk about, it be that. Yeah, my girl sent me 87 memes. Yeah, this is the woman that come home and tell me all her shit, and I listen to her. The guy that rubs her feet, like, I look at how many people like it and how many people reference it and how they tag all their boyfriends or they tag their women in it, and that's what I see. Now, granted, when we in a space where we're talking about where the conversation tends to be negative centric, you tend to start seeing the talking points come out. But when you go and you look online and you see all the relationship stuff, they mostly understand. You can't deal with the opposite sex for a long period of time and not pick up this, because it's nearly impossible. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself 3, 4, 5 times divorced, if not ever encounter women or encounter men. It's nearly impossible.
Well, what I'm saying is, post 35, 40, the age range they were saying, women are praying almost every day to try and find a man. They going on trips to conferences to learn how to be better for a man. Some of them enrolling in therapy. They trying to find all of these solutions to be better. And as soon as they find a man they feel is meeting part of that, they ready to throw their whole all into it.
Wait, what?
I mean, what? Who are you guys speaking about?
Like, where's this happening? Where's this happening? Where's this happening, yo?
I mean, I get that it's happening, but you guys make it seem like it's so like.
Bro, we're gonna pretend you ain't saying it. What's the dating coach that
the ladies couldn't even ride with you on that one, bro?
I agree. Listen, I agree, because if you look at these dating these guys, listen, Stefan Speaks, look at how many views he gets per, you know. You look at all these people who are dating coach, these guys telling women, this is what you do. Those numbers of those people, those dedicated subscribers, looking at those videos, trying to learn, going to these, and these dudes pay, like, they charge like hundreds of dollars for these seminars, right? And it could be a webinar, and it be paid like sold out.
Oh man, Marcus, it's a lot of women that come into this space specifically to find out more about how they could be better for men and end up disliking men based off of interactions with them that be hella angry.
Listen, I mean, provision is essentially just providing emotional support that makes a woman feel safe enough to commit and devote her time and herself to a man, like, so that she could do whatever he needs her to do.
Hell no. And then she gonna say, okay, can you pay some of these bills?
I mean, that's what a husband is supposed to do.
Oh. And it all
right back to
I mean, I'm not saying that we're not going to pay bills together now. I didn't say that. But
can you be can you be a shoulder to lean on and addicted?
Hey, hold on, wait. I got something for you.
Then,
I got something for you.
I need some bills paid.
I got something for you. Never mind.
Listen, that's not the primary job, but you know,
so,
you have to provide that too.
Go ahead, Trev. And we go to Nelson.
Yeah, so I could agree with Marcus on some of what he said as far as what, like, all right, so for instance, my wife didn't cook when she first met me or whatever, but you know, it wasn't no judgment. I was like, all right, bet. Well, we start from scratch and we're gonna get you right. And eventually she did. I'll put her up against anybody at this point though. She'll listen, she can chef it up now like a like I'll put up against anybody. So there's a lot of with security. I think that we can't really just put everybody in the same box, right? Every woman is gonna have a different need, right? There are some things that are universal, but you have to understand what type of woman you're getting with. There are some women who are going to need more emotional support, some people who need more financial support, right? Different things that you need to provide. So you have to understand who you are as a man, what it is that you're capable of, and what it is you're willing to do with that one particular woman, right? And you're like, okay, this is definitely worth it. I want to pour into this woman, right? As she's going to pour into me. So women do want to feel safe, but there's a lot of insecurity. You know, we have financial, we know we have emotional security, but it's different levels to it, right? A woman who's been through more trauma is going to need much more emotional support or security than a woman who has not faced that type of trauma, right? It could be whatever. It could be from past relationships. It could be from maybe abuse as a child. There's too many different things that you would have to look into first. But if you're able to discern these type of things in the beginning, this is all in your vetting process. You have to have these honest conversations with each other. You have to be upfront and vulnerable as much as we don't want to, because sometimes we're jaded because of different experiences that we had. We just have to lay all the cards on the table and deal with it. And the biggest mistake we make is to try to hide things from a person, because you're going to eventually find out what's going on. And if you're not upfront in the beginning, you're going to get into relationships and your feelings are already there and you're finding reasons to stay because you like certain aspects of it, but the foundation is broken. So you can't really build on that. So you as a man, because sometimes not every man is going to be able to give the emotional security that a woman provides. Some men aren't capable of that sometimes. We're just not built for that. Not every one of us is built like that. We all try to, but depending on how much this particular woman may actually need, we have to ask ourselves if we are even capable of performing on that level, right? And I know Marcus usually will say like, yo, the dudes who could really do all of this sometimes have more options and may just not want to be bothered. So that's where you could run into a problem sometime, because you could just really not want to do that because you have more options on the table. You're like, all right, I could build one, right, because I really like this person, or I could find one that's like doing what I like out of the box. They are what I need them to be out of the box, and they don't want to put the work in if they have those types of options. And that kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier, where it's harder for some women to get men because these men have more on the table and they don't have to deal with things, so they won't. So
that's the part, right, where men can choose not to deal with or deal with women. And that's the part that I think Shan was speaking to earlier, where it's like, why string a woman along and why abuse that power over women in that way? Because at the end of the day, like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now I'm going to tell you this. I don't think it's cool to do that, but I think it's a very small percentage of men who are even capable of taking advantage of women like that, right? Unfortunately, this is the men that most women gravitate to. So y'all really don't be paying attention that y'all just really Eskimo sisters. That's just what it is, right? Y'all are all dating the same dudes.
Yeah,
You're dating the same small percentage of
every
dudes,
dating
right?
statistic.
That's the problem.
Every
So
dating
you think
statistic.
I really.
Hold on, let them finish.
what are we gonna say to you?
No, I just don't necessarily agree with that. I think that's one of those statistics that gets thrown around and
It's not really thrown around. It's always been that way. Like since the beginning of time, there was certain men who had more options, right? The men who are the tallest, who are the strongest, who are the richest, right? Who have the square jaw lines. There's certain criteria that women go for. Those guys are going to have the pick of the litter. They're gonna take advantage of that because it's not normal. The average person is not getting nothing out here. Your average dude gets no burn. Right? He could count on his fingers how many women he's experienced. That's the dude. The average dude has not had crazy amounts of experience, especially if they go to college. They don't. But then the dude top had many, many, many women. Most of them same. Or y'all date the same dude.
It's sexual capitalism.
I mean, that's not my ministry either. But I hear you. I hear these statistics and all of that, but like, man,